It's hard for everybody.
Yep. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Right on time. I didn't even have to wait on B tonight.
Nope.
You look beautiful tonight,
I've
by
been
the way.
sitting here waiting for you.
And you guys notice her hair's all combed.
Combed.
Right.
Clean clothes.
Clean clothes. Wow.
I have a date.
You do.
With you.
I knew you were going to say that. All right, let's get some hellos in. Gizmo was first in the house. Good evening to you. Farm Ranch Homestead, welcome back. Matt, how are you, my friend? Unique Prepping's in the house. By the way, look at our unique prepping swag we're wearing tonight. Yep, pretty cool. Kelly Ireland, how are you? Go down here a little bit. Oh, famous Silver Lining is in the house. How are you, my friend? Let me see. Silver Lining says, it's been a productive week for me. Put up a 32-foot arbor and planted 26 tomato plants plus other stuff. Feeling sore, but good to be alive. Amen. Yep. Lisa, welcome to the house. Southern Comfort Homestead. Hello. American Roots Farm is in the house. I actually just got off the phone with them just a few minutes ago.
Who?
American Roots. Yep. Had a good conversation there. They've got lots of exciting stuff happening for them. Skane's Girl, welcome. Gypsy, we have royalty in the house. That's pretty cool.
Hello, Freedom Friends.
Yeah. Starla, welcome back. RN, long time no talk. What else we got here? Banquet of Consequences, welcome, welcome. Hakeshaw 54 is here. And you guys are chatty tonight. That's good. One step closer. How are you, my friend? Hey, I have an idea for a new calculator, by the way.
Just like a whole different.
Yeah, just a little bit of twist on some of the stuff we've already worked on. But Beth Emily, how are you? Carrie Davis as well. Mossy Oak Parrot is in the house. Because I always say Patriot. The famous Eagle Lover Texas is here. Jules, how are you? We've got some stuff for you, Jules, by the way. Whenever we can find a way to get together. One more rock. Hello, hello. MJ from Wisconsin. Good to see you. See here, Scott. How you doing, Scott? Scott, I need to talk to you, but I need to talk to you away from my cell phone and the internet. So whenever you and I can get a chance to get together, I have something I need to tell you. Let's see here. Midwest Ribeye, hello. Indiana Mike, ahoy.
Ahoy.
Long time no see. Stan Guthrie, welcome. And the greatest name on the internet is in the house. Dana, welcome. I'm sure George is beautiful this time of year. Hey, our friends Nitos is in the house. How are you? And Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, I need to talk to you too. Whenever we can pull that off. Jin Botho, welcome, welcome. That just keeps going, doesn't it? Grateful Hearts Ranch, welcome in. Bobby Spags, how are you? We're going to talk about Midwest a little bit tonight.
Yeah, that's coming up.
It is coming up, which is super cool. I'm excited about it. Let's see here. Stan Guthrie, welcome back in. Miss Messer, how are you?
Hey, C.
Yep. Let me see. Aljo, welcome. And of course, Pack Rat, welcome. And I got to spend some time with Pack Rat on the phone last week a little bit. We had a good, hour conversation, but it was pretty cool. So, yeah, nice. Really neat. Yep, super cool. All right. Well, what would you like to talk about today?
Well, my list is very short because I have been.
Because you chose to take a shower and comb your hair.
Yes, that's why. All week. No, because Tag's mom is still in the hospital. So I've been spending time there trying to get her health and affairs in order and then doing chores at her house and tending to her kitty cat and cleaning up. Cats really knock stuff off the counters and
especially if you're not there to entertain them.
So I get to go and pick up basically the same items. I should just put them somewhere else so that they're no longer a distraction for her. Maybe that's what is good for her since she's there alone. I don't know. But been doing spending a lot of time at the hospital and at her house and and
I think it's important just so I say it because I've been complaining to her and we either invest in your health or your illness, one of the two. And unfortunately my mom is forced to invest in her illness today and it's hard on her. Before we go on though, Terminator, welcome. And C Master says the mister's there as well. So how are you, my friend? LJC is in the house. Good evening. Good evening. I think I got them all. Let me just make sure. Dana Green, hello. All right, cool. I think I'm caught up. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm learning all kinds of medical things that you don't really know until you are faced with them. So breathing issues and heart issues, and then medical also, like on the dog. We have a dog who had he was finally diagnosed. I don't know, for some of you who have seen him, he's always had this infection in his folds of his nose.
He's a boxer.
He's a boxer, so he has like wrinkles on his nose, and he's always struggled with issues with that. And we've taken him to lots of doctors, and we've gotten lots of different ointments and antibiotics, and we've tried a plethora of home medicines and honey and castor oil and like everything that anybody who has ever suggested to me, I have tried, except for the monostat, because I just thought that was kind of weird on right around his eyes. But anyway, I finally took him to a different vet. I think I've taken him to 3 other vets. Well, this particular vet, I said, like, we've tried this and this and this and this. And he said, why don't we just swab it and send it into the medical, what is that?
K-State.
Or, okay. So it's like a learning place. So they sent the swabs away, and it took 3 weeks for them to grow this thing, and found out that it was a bacterial infection. So we have a new antibiotic, and it's like drying up and looking significantly different than it used to. So learning all kinds of medical things that I had not had to deal with in the past. So it's like things, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, get sleep, get good food, get good water, get
lower your stress level.
Oh,
live a life worth living. Live a life with purpose.
Yeah. Those are all really good things.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, We'll Be Cool is in the house. I wanted to say hello, and Southern Comfort Homestead's back, so I wanted to say welcome back. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here real quick. Barbara, welcome to you. Let me see here. Sorry, guys, there's just so many. Yeah, Silver Lining says, I like your shirt. I like my shirt too. Look at that. I got Zach on my shirt. Mm-hmm. And she's up.
I love this shirt. That's great.
Yeah, anybody want any of these shirts, you guys can go over to Zach Unique Prepping's channel, and he has that swag in there, and I wear it with pride. And so we were super excited to put them on tonight. First time I ever wore it. So it was pretty cool.
Thank you, Zach.
Yes, thank you. So yeah, we've been spending a lot of time doing that, but we're also working hard on the homestead. So I'm going to show you guys all the stuff we've been working on and talk a little bit about how, you don't always get to work on what you want to work on, because things kind of happen. But before I do that, I wanted to real quick reach out to our community here and locally, because it's so amazing to me how community works and the power of community. And you guys have seen before where we've, built houses, and we've built, put up firewood, and we've done all kinds of things together. And, we bought semi-loads of siding to make it easier. We bought, a huge, load of solar panels to make it easier. And so there was a new one that came up recently. So our buddy, King Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Juicy, anyway, found a deal on field fencing. So the woven field fencing wire, and it was about $80 off per roll. And so I thought I would share with you guys. So he drove a long ways to pick up all of this fencing for whoever wanted it. So this will impact more than one homestead. And we got it back, and we got it back cheap. B and I got some, but
$80 off per roll. And then they had gates on sale. They had T-posts on sale. Yeah. He had to drive, how many hours is that from here?
Oh, about 10-hour round trip.
So he had to drive a pretty good distance in order to snag that deal. But we were fortunate enough for him to have the time and for him to even find the deal in the first place, because somebody has to find the deal and then offer it to people, and then for us to, snag it up. So this was a pretty heavy load.
Yeah, It was super neat. It was so super thankful to get it, and it just amazes me all the time about the power of community and how it works. And guys, a lot of times it's just the little things. It's, hey, can I borrow your whatever?
Yeah.
Right. Or can you guys seen me pouring concrete on the community building and having 5 people there to help?
Yeah.
And
which is
amazing.
So handy to
Yeah. But it's not just getting help. It's also finding group buys.
Yeah.
We have a community member who lives in South Dakota who found some vents that were on a clearance shelf, some vents that go on a roof, something so simple as that, but we buy them all out. And then they get distributed. The same homesteader help us find some honey cheap ones. And there was one other big thing that we found. Oh, wire.
Oh, wire.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Where is that wire?
I think Garen has it. I think.
Okay.
I'm not really sure where it is.
And like sweet potato slips too.
There's another one. Yep, there's another one.
Multiple homesteads.
Yeah, Skage Girl says that's my plan. No more looking in the rear view mirror. You got to move forward. And guys, it is so critical today to move forward. I don't know if you've noticed the way that things are around in the world today. And I've been having a lot of conversations behind the scenes with a lot of great connections that I have. And you just can't look back anymore. And it's time to put a stake in the ground. And we're going to talk about this a lot tonight, I think, as it goes through. Real quick, hack for the homesteaders in the house. And if you guys want to see what living free is, I always say it, they're the freest people I know. And I look up to them in a lot of ways. And, we work together, not super often, but periodically.
Yeah.
But Hacks for the Homesteaders a channel, and you guys can go look at that too. But they are super, super, super free. I'm very proud of them, and hope to be them someday. Unique Prepping says, you're welcome, Tag and B. You guys are family to me, and I always appreciate you. We appreciate you too, bud. And thanks for giving us all inspiration. And I'd love to hear a report how you're doing on getting the equipment you need to be able to make it easy for you to publicly speak. We've been trying to help Zach raise enough money to get new software and hardware that will allow him, with his disabilities or his limitations, to be able to do more and to speak more from this community. And so I'm sure someone will put a link along the way tonight in our channel. And if anyone feels like it's in their heart to give $5 or whatever it is, I think it'd be great. And I think it goes to a great place. Let me see here, make sure. Florida Mama Bear, welcome. Tambra's in the house. Good evening to you. Oh, there's the link tree. Jules beat me to the punch. Look at that. It was already in there before I even said it. Pretty cool. Spag says, looking back all the time is how you run smack dab into what you can't see in front of you. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Really well said, bud. Really, really, really well said. Yeah, Unique says, Tag, I'm 400 away. Pretty cool. I mean, we've come a long way. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so here's the link tree. I'll leave that up here until I put the next comment up. So anyway, back to the community. This was super, super exciting. We also had big news in our community. The well driller was out.
Oh, yes.
And drilled a bunch of wells on a bunch of homesteads. And
helping all kinds of people out.
Yeah, and I'm not going to...
Some of them have been on the waiting list for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, to get them dug. And so that was cool. And we had one particular homestead that hit gold. Right. Yeah.
Like a lot of water.
I'm not going to mention who it is, but yeah, they hit gold. They did really, really well. And then there's another one that I know that got dug, got water, but not what they wanted, and it's so interesting how the ripple effect works, right? Because you, just like that, you get a really, really big producing well. Now that's going to change so many things, because now you have the ability to do X, Y, and Z. But the other side, like us, we don't have a great well. Right. Our well's 2.5 gallons a minute. And so that forced me to put in a holding tank and some other things, right? And so it sent what I thought would be a $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 ordeal into a $12,000 or $15,000 ordeal. But it works, and I think it's just kind of part of it.
Well, you just never know what's going to happen. Yeah. So you take what you get and you move forward, try to better yourself.
Yeah, we had some other kind of sad news on the farm this week. And so B has a dog. Her name's Rosie. And that's her right there in the picture. And Rosie is just B's dog.
Yeah, she follows me.
Follows B everywhere she goes. Around, and they're just, she's an Akbash. And we got her as a puppy. As you guys know, you guys have watched these dogs grow up on a channel. And about 3 days ago, she disappeared. And wouldn't come home. We didn't know where she was. B drove all over every back road. I spent
hours driving back roads, down driveways, stopping, looking in ditches, looking over bridges. I saw one guy stop. I was on my way into town to do your mom's chores, and I saw a guy stopped on the bridge over this big bridge over here. And he was like in the process of throwing something when I came up over the hill. And I was like, well, that's weird. And he hurried up in his car, shut the door, and he took off. And I was coming up to him, but when he got back in his car, he just floored it. And so I grabbed my phone. I was going to take a picture of his car, and boom, he just took off as fast as he could. I could not get close enough to see his license plate. And I was like, then the dog came up missing, and I was like, maybe he was throwing my dog over the rail. So it had started raining. I was, driving the back roads. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop at this bridge, and I'm going to look over it. But the water was rushing through, and I called the neighbor, and he's like, yeah, if they threw something over there, that water coming through there is going to carry it along. And I was like, you think that? I mean, like, she's like 100 pounds. And he was like, yeah, that water is just rushing through there. And so I didn't find her. I called all the vets in the area. Somebody, the neighbor across the street, his mom's dog came up missing. And one of the ladies posted on there that her dog had come up missing, and it was a guardian dog she had bought to breed. And she found the dog 30 miles away. Somebody picked the dog up and drove it 30 miles to a shelter where they neutered the dog. And then she had to go get the dog. She had to adopt it and pay these fees. And so she got her dog back, but then that made me think, well, maybe I need to reach out like 30 miles in case somebody was driving. We live by a big road. Maybe they, took it into this town or took it into that town. And so I started calling like within a 30-mile radius, like the vets and the shelters and I did the, pages on the Facebook where you could reach out and like things that are going on, I guess, like in the area. And so I posted her pictures, and I, just trying to find her, hours and hours of looking and calling. And it was a lot.
Yeah, well, it's just sad because this dog, and it's been 3 days now. This dog was just B's dog.
So the neighbor came over to borrow bee equipment, and that's what.
Yeah. So
so that was on Wednesday at like 2:00.
Yeah,
was the last time she was here. Yeah. Yeah,
last bee scene, she seen her kind of running off.
I thought and I was like. You had said yesterday, you said, well, maybe she's locked somewhere. And I'm like, no, I mean, I've looked in the powerhouse. I've looked in my garage. I've looked in the shipping container. I looked in the camper. I looked in the other tiny house, just looking everywhere. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So I found her, and, she was locked in the shipping container. So
3 days.
Yeah, I did it. I locked her in the shipping container when the neighbor came and asked me for bee equipment. She had gone in there and just laid down. And so I went and I was getting all this bee equipment, and I was talking to him and talking to his kids. And I was like, here, try this here. Oh, don't forget this. And you should probably take one of these, because he had a swarm in his tree. And I just wanted to help him like become a beekeeper. And I was like, oh, let's rush down to the processing kitchen. And I have some drawn out comb that had a little bit of honey in it, and that will draw her right in, and it will be wonderful for you. And I was so paying attention to that I shut her in. I shut the door and I locked her in the shipping container.
Yeah. So she was on our farm the whole time, locked in the shipping container. And what's crazy, Eagle Lover says, you found her? Did she bark? I never heard her one time.
I have been every night, every morning, just calling her, walking down the dam, calling into the woods, calling. Oh my gosh. It was a heart-wrenching problem that turned out to be just an absolute blessing. This morning on the way to do chores, I was, praying, please just help us to find her, bring her home. Let us have some answers, some closure. And we found her alive, and she was just so happy and just ran right over. We have a canoe right next to the shipping container that is faced up. So it had water in it, and she immediately just ran right over there and just jumped into that canoe and just lapping up the water. And oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me. I brought her home. I'm like, let's go get some food. I gave her a pack of hot dogs. I gave her some leftovers. I gave her some dog food. I gave her fresh water. I'm like, please, I did not mean to do this. And just, it was like just a special gift to have her back and alive. And I'm grateful so much that we had this little cold front come through, because it was like 70 something degrees or 80 degrees just before that. And so we had this big rainstorm and a big cold front, and I could just not imagine finding her in there like a month later, where knowing that I'm the one that locked her in there would have just been devastating. So I am just thankful so much that that we found her.
Hey, good evening, Vicky Pullman. Glad you're here, and Loco, you as well. Skins Girl says, B, I'm so glad you found her. I went through this looking for my Tag. She named her dog Tag, by the way. He just disappeared the end of February, did all those things, walked miles through the woods, flyers without success. It's so sad, because, you get to be, you just get to be such good friends with them. And this particular dog was, it's on B's hip everywhere B goes. It's just what it is. And B was super sad. And I kept, trying to, tell her it's all right. She's like, I just feel so guilty. I'm like, but you didn't intend to do it.
No.
It wasn't intentional.
No, but I know that I did it. So.
No. Yeah, I've got Silver Lining saying, hey, Mo, but I did not see Mo come in the house. But hey, buddy, how are you? Jane says, so glad you found her safe. Yeah, we're super glad we found her safe too. So we're just super excited to have her home, right?
Yes. Well, she was always home.
Mm-hmm. So what lesson did you learn?
To double check.
Listen to your husband the first time?
What? The first time what?
When I said, did you lock her in something?
I thought that I had looked in the places that I had been and overlooked that.
You were not in the shipping container?
No, I was.
So you didn't look in the places you were in?
I thought that I did.
Yeah.
It's easy to be rushing and half-ass things. It's so easy to overlook something that you shouldn't.
Yeah, and it's just painful. And I'm sorry for those who, lose their animals. But, death is also part of life, and it's part of this life specifically. I have good friends who have lost cows they loved, dogs they loved, all the above. And it's sad, but it is unfortunately part of, the life that we live.
Well, so in that whole rigmarole, we decided that we were going to go ahead and
we
decided that we were going to go ahead and put up fencing. When Tag was like, I don't feel like she ran off. I feel like somebody took her, like somebody took her away from us. I don't think that she, roamed because she goes over to the neighbor's yard. And she hears a coyote and she chases after that noise. But she doesn't, I don't feel like she roams like other Anatolians or Great Pyrenees. I guess there's different dogs have different tendencies. But so I decided that we were going to put up fencing. We were going to fence the whole dang thing. And that way.
40 acres when she says whole dang thing. And we aren't fencing anything. Yeah. Mo says lesson is never let B walk out of the shipping container first.
Yeah, it was I'm glad that it ended well. And now we have fencing. I was going to go up, and then we're going to keep our animals on our property, except for the birds because they like fly.
Amber, no, shame on you, Amber.
Yeah,
shame on you.
Because we don't want him getting. He needs his cardio. That post hole pounder is going to get him that cardio.
Nito says, I have to go get a prescription picked up. I had a bug get in my ear and ended up in the ER with a bloody ear. So have to put antibiotic drops in my ear for a week. That would suck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would suck. Yep. Shame on you, Amber. Shame on you. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you.
So for the next few weeks, we'll be putting up fencing.
Yep. Look at that. We've gained a little ground. Zach, you're getting closer, buddy.
That is wonderful.
You're getting closer, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that's really, really awesome to give. So you guys know we've been working on the community building, right? And so we poured, I think I shared some of these pictures. So I poured the first pad, which is where all the bathrooms are.
Look how good that looks too.
Yeah. And so that's done. And so, so sorry guys, I had an email pop in, but so we got that poured. We're ready to go. I'm actually ready to pour the next one, as you guys can see. So it's built. It's the rebar's in. Everything's ready to go. We just got to pour it. But unfortunately, we got a ton of rain. So we were going to pour it this morning because it's ready to go. But it is such a sopping mess.
We can't get the truck down there.
Yeah. So depending upon where in our county, some people got 2 inches, some people got 3 inches, but it came super, 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 super quick. And so unfortunately, I have not been able to get down there and get it done. So we found some other things to do, which I'll show you guys. But you guys, I want to show you this. Do you guys remember this picture?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. So we had
piled the rocks around.
Just piled some rocks around, and that's just kind of a little peninsula on my pond.
Put the sand in.
Put some sand in. It needs more sand to fill up to the rocks, and it needs another layer or two of rocks, but I just hadn't gotten to it.
And you thought that we could rock off the sides to create a little zero entry for the little ones or grandmas or whatever.
Yeah. So then the rain came.
And this is what it looks like today. It's all underwater. Not only is this underwater, but the road that we use to get down there is underwater.
Yeah, it is. So right now, as you guys look at this, this is up at my top of my drain pipe. So right now, as this picture was taken, there's water gushing out the back end of that pond. I get 42 acres of runoff into this pond. And so it just, kind of.
So once the water is done, the overflow is out, you should be able to see the sand.
It'll be back. Yeah, it'll be back down.
If the sand is still there, because that water coming in and.
Yeah. Grateful Heart said, B, you should get GPS collar. We've been talking about that.
Yes, that is. I'm actually looking.
What is that?
That would be a bot. Somebody needs to remove.
Yeah.
So I've looked at different ones. I'm not exactly sure. If you have one that you like and you recommend, let me know. But our dogs go in the pond and they swim. So, if I could find one that was waterproof and, like where you could set a perimeter, that would be nice too. But with us fencing the whole thing, I guess it might not necessarily need that function, but I am looking for one.
Yeah, something weird is going on. Did you guys see all those? Allie BHG just gave me an F, like a lot of Fs. I'm clearly failing class. I don't know what that is, but it's all good. It's all good. You know what? Allie BHG, I give you an A. How's that? Yeah, anyway. So that's what we did there. What's next here? Oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you this one too. Guys, this is in my woods. And I just thought I'd show you this. This is how hard the water was coming down.
You could see the
You can see what the water pushing the leaves out of the way and pushing, the sticks out of the way and all of that kind of stuff.
And there's like 2 paths.
Yeah, that's just the water rushing down the hill. Because it rained so hard. The getting 2 inches of rain isn't that big a deal, but getting 2 inches of rain in an hour is a huge deal.
It wasn't even an hour.
Yeah, but it was quick.
It was less than that.
Yeah.
And there was hail involved, and there was what they call them, frontline winds. Because it was this last storm was. It was a heavy downfall, and then an hour later, frontline winds came in because one
Yeah.
storm was going to the west, and then a storm was coming from the north.
Yeah.
So we got a double whammy.
Yeah, it was a lot. Hey,
and then 2 days before that, we'd gotten 2 more inches of rain. So it's been a lot of water.
Kelly says F is for fine friends.
Yeah.
See, I like that, right?
Freedom friends.
Yeah. Loco says, I'm building soil this weekend while Tag and B are collecting water. And oh my gosh, do I have water. Every pond is overflowing. I wish I had some more ponds built. The new pond I just built, the dam held fine. Everything's fine. So we'll be good to go.
It's full.
It's full.
Did it rush over the top?
No.
Or did the pipe, was the pipe enough?
Yeah, I put a 30-inch pipe in it.
I don't know how much water it would take to fill a 30-inch pipe in 30 minutes.
Silver Lining some swells on contour will help that. And I'm ready for you to start that project, Silver Lining. Let me know what works for you.
Yeah, the swells up at the orchard were all full. I mean, it was the bottom one was full enough where it was pouring over the top.
Yeah. Anyway, so we definitely got a whole bunch of water. So on the farm, not everything goes according to plan, right?
No.
So we talk about that all the time. And so because I can't get to the community building, which is what I'm supposed to be out working on, as B said, she decided that she would make me build fence. So this is on one part of my property, and we're just working on getting the T-posts in. You'll see big gaps between the T-posts. That's where a big post goes.
Like a metal 3-inch or 2 7/8.
Yeah, there's Zach's link tree. I'll leave that up a little bit.
And then at the very top of that picture is a 16-foot gate, right?
Yeah, right about at the very top to the right.
You can barely see it, but the very far fence is already built, and that is all steel pipe.
Yeah, still better than Dubai getting 5.5 inches. It's good to have a water plan working in place. Yeah, amen to that. Did your community members have a water witch before you drill? Yeah, well, that's standard practice out here, Gizmo. The well companies use water witching out here. And so to my knowledge, every single place that's had a well drill first was witched first. Yeah, I'll put that link for you. Let me see here. One time in Northwest Florida, we got 20 inches of rain in less than 20 hours. Or 12 hours. Oh, my goodness. I'll try to leave that link tree up there the best that I can. But so I've got that working on, but I won't work on it that much if I can get back to the community building. But unfortunately, it's just going to have to dry. If I try to get a 60,000-pound cement truck down there, we might not get them out. And where I live, I don't know if it's true where you guys live, but if they get stuck on my property, it's my responsibility.
That and they ruin the yard. I mean, the whole area.
Lighting.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, Silver Lining, you're so awesome. You know that. We miss you so much. We wish you were around. We'd be making fun of you the whole time.
Not we.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Yeah, Terminator says it's been raining every day for a week, and it's mud everywhere. Yeah.
Mud.
Yeah. So B, I've been kind of feeling kind of loving a lot lately. I don't know why, but I love my wife, as you guys know, and I'm so proud of her, and she's my best friend, and I couldn't imagine being with anybody else in my life. But she sometimes has a way of communicating with me that's quite interesting. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So we were talking about, as you guys know, we'll talk about it tonight. There's lots of crazy stuff going on in the world. And we were talking about, getting through it and, all of those things. And B basically told me that we could conquer the world if I bought her a side-by-side.
That's not what I said.
Yes.
I said with you by my side. I didn't say buy me a side-by-side.
You said I could conquer the world if you
clean out your ears.
If you buy me a side-by-side.
No.
You like your side-by-side?
Where did you get that picture? Good grief. I said with you by my side.
No, you said if I buy you a side-by-side.
I have a side-by-side.
Maybe you wanted another one. How do I know?
Good grief. I do like the pink though.
Yeah, you like that?
I said with you by my side.
Yeah.
If you buy me a side-by-side.
Yeah. Mazio Parrot said, I think Tag has a bug in his ear too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You got an infection in there?
Yeah, you know how that looks. Yeah, but that's way too funny. Hey, Life with Mike and Jen are here. Hey, welcome, Jen. Or Mike's probably Jen, but yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys are side by side here every week. Yeah. I thought it was funny that she said we could conquer the world if I bought our side by side.
No, I did not. I said I could conquer the world with you by my side.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. That is what I said. You thought I said to buy me a side by side?
Yeah, I'll conquer the world if you buy me a side by side.
You said okay. Good grief. Hey, what else are you not hearing?
Prep Rebel Actual's in the house. How are you? How are you? How are you? Oh, Jen is in Southern California, and he's in NWA How building our house. Oh, cool. Northwest Arkansas. So she's in California on vacation.
Yes.
While he's working building the house.
Building the house.
Of course. Of course. Vicky says Houston had over 44 inches of rain during Hurricane Harvey a few years ago. Ooh, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. Yep. Serious question. Side by side or KEI sized enclosed mini truck from Japan?
Oh.
You know what? I would depend upon the layout of my land. If my land had a lot of terrain, I'd rather have the side by side. If it didn't have a lot of terrain, those little mini enclosed trucks are really cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to own one. And if I ever get a chance to buy one someday, I absolutely will. I'd really like to get one that runs on propane or an electric one I could charge off the solar system or something. But
did you? I forgot to show you that the Walmart now has. Gypsy sent me a picture that Walmart now has electric golf carts, four-seaters, and it's in the store.
No way. Show them that. Show them. And there's a beautiful Lou in the background. Look at that. In Walmart. Wow.
Yeah, in Walmart.
Wow. Electric though. I like the
four-seater.
Are they 48 volt? Do you know?
Yes, he said 48 volt. But look, it also has like a cargo bed, so you could sit somebody there, or you can use it as a truck.
Yeah.
So it has like a tailgate you lower, and you can use it like a truck, a flatbed.
Yeah, Walmart has pink side by sides. So, babe, this could be a reality.
I don't want that. If you're gonna buy me a side by side, buy me a different side by side.
No, you got a nice one.
I do.
Way nicer than mine.
Yours is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yours has heat.
I like mine.
Yeah,
and windows and
your
doors.
Walmart's better than mine. Let me see here. KEI sized vehicles would seem to be ideal for a small electric conversion. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having an electric one. Hey, Instigator, how are you? Says those are being sold at Tractor Supply, big boxes, etc. Assembly is questionable, and who's servicing them? Yeah, no doubt, huh? Local says, does anyone walk anymore? I saw a few kids in adult racing electric carts in the mall a few weeks back. Yeah, I like to actually walk and do it a lot, but not when I got to carry something heavy specifically. Anyone else see the wheels turn in Tag's head when B said it's 48 volt? Yeah, well, I mean, with the things that are going on in fuel, guys, it's going to get super expensive.
Yes.
I promise you this is true.
Summer's coming.
Super expensive.
It already gets more expensive in the summertime.
Yeah, but
this year's
it's going to get expensive. So to have
worse.
another form, electricity, or a mule or whatever, I could just see some big advantages. Especially as you get older in age.
Can we get a mule?
No, you got a cow. We're gonna use oxen.
Cows,
like a little house on the prairie.
Yes,
remember?
Yes.
And you already have them. You don't have to buy anything.
I need halters and I need bridles.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Unique Prepping said, thank you. One step closer, 275 to go. Yeah, how cool is that? Instigator says, yeah, that's why I have a 48 volt cart. I converted to lithium specifically to charge directly from solar or be part of my battery bank. See, I love that. That is such a smart idea. Prep Rebel Actual said, filled up my truck today, $250.
Oh my gosh. That's a big truck. That's a big gas tank.
Yeah, that is a big gas. Well, not as big as it used to be.
Oh, is it a semi truck?
Yeah, probably. Let's see here. Tag wants to know if it will take DeWalt batteries. I use Milwaukee. Kind sir. I'm not a yellow guy.
Yes, but
I'm a red guy.
You knew what he meant.
B's face was priceless. Yes, I need halters. Yeah, that's what I need. You know, it seems like no matter what happens in my world, no matter what I get my teeth bit into, this one decides that, you know, she wants to say that she could conquer the world if I buy her side by side. So, and it changes my whole plans, you know.
Now I'm gonna buy it side by side.
Yep. Jen says Team Red. That's right. Team Red here. I am a Milwaukee guy. And there's no such thing as having too many of them. It's just saying.
I agree.
Yeah. Prep Rebel Actual says it was a 36-gallon tank. That's what my truck's got.
Oh, man.
Whew. One step closer says, sorry, I didn't mean to misgender you. Yes. Thank you. RN says, when I was a kid, we used farm cars and trucks to go around the farm and through the woods. A $50 junker worked great. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nowadays, though, that $50 junker is like a $500 junker. Even that, though, that's not $500 for a junk car to drive around the.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Gypsy says, come on, y'all. Let's get Zach done by the end of the live tonight. Well, I will post the link every single time it pops up. And I know, though, guys, times are hard. And you need to take care of you. But at the same time, you know, I think the amount of courage that Zach shows through all of this is just tremendous. And if we can help in any way, we're going to. And, you know, he's assimilated really well into the community and now just part of the gig, you know. So, Gypsy, though, I agree with you. Okay.
Now he's just stuck with us.
Now he's stuck with us. Yep. That's right. Zach, you're stuck. Yeah, Silver Lining says the Willys Jeep was our forced vehicle. Yeah.
I'd love a Willys Jeep.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could you conquer the world?
Side by side.
Could you conquer the world? Yeah. All right. What's next? I'm just trying to continue to remind you guys that on Saturday, the 3rd, so on Friday the 2nd, we will not be having a live.
No, May 11th.
You
said the 3rd.
Sorry. So May the 10th, we will not be having a live. So Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m., we'll be going live from the stage at the Midwest Preparedness Project. We're going to talk about the history of the community. We're going to talk about, hopefully I get to introduce you to a lot more community members if I can get permission from them. So I'd kind of like to be able to go through all of that. I think that would be a neat experience, you know. And so I urge you guys to join also. And I have never said anything about this before, but we have 2 really cool gifts we're going to give away that day. I'm going to give one to the audience at Midwest Preparedness Project, and I'm going to give one to the audience that's live. I have secured some Lion Energy solar generators. I have 2 brand new ones, the generator and the solar panel that goes with it, and we're going to give them away from the stage at the Midwest Preparedness Project. So
Saturday, May 11th?
On Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m.
Well, after 3 p.m.
Yeah, sometime after 3 p.m. And
are we doing a 1 hour live?
I don't just however long it goes.
3 to 4?
Yeah, however long it goes, I don't know. So super excited about that, and I hope it really goes to a very nice place, and you know, someone gets them that can absolutely use them.
Yeah.
In there. So I'm super excited about it. And I hope, again, you guys join. One question that I have, though, is I'm not exactly sure how to pick from the audience of the live. The people that are there in person will be easy because we can use tickets. We can use.
Well, we could have somebody writing down names. We can have somebody writing down these names and putting them in a bucket, and then have one of the kids and pull it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I use StreamYard to stream all of this stuff. If I can get them to randomly pick one, I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to work on it, but it's going to be really, really cool. And, you know, it's about a $900 value. And, you know, from there, I hope it changes some, makes somebody a little bit freer and, you know, gets them a little bit further along, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah. But and there's a lot of other things going on at the festival. So lots of classes and good conversation, good food.
Yeah.
Bartertown. What else? Are they, I don't know. Are they, Bobby, are they doing a potluck?
Oh, I'm sure.
Saturday? Well, that was what has always happened, but we're at a new location and I don't know what's available.
Yeah. So One Step Closer says, try Kahoot. You have a virtual prize wheel. And will Kahoot work with StreamYard? I'll have to play with all of that.
Probably a good idea.
What one do you go to once you hit the link? What one, Kelly? I don't understand the question. What one do I go to?
Oh, when she hits the link at unique prepping, there's different things, right?
Oh, Kelly, is that what you're talking about? Of how to
donate? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, here, let's Jen, it's spelled Jen, Jenn. Write that down and pick. Yeah, Cash App. Oh, yeah, okay, that's from Jules. Sorry. Indiana says could do a pick a number. Yeah, we could do a pick a number. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm super excited to give out. And you guys know this about me, but I believe energy is the number one fight. And I think that's why we chose to buy those as our giveaways, because to me, it's the single biggest fight.
And it's the one that we have here. We use it. I've used it. What did we charge with it? Oh, we charged the batteries. In the wintertime, we had a red day that we were really needing some Milwaukee batteries charged.
Yeah.
And we used it to charge up all the Milwaukee batteries.
Yeah. Okay. So they're asking about Zach, and people are having issues donating to you, Zach. So let me see here. One Step Closer says, I used Buy Me a Cup of Coffee so I could use my credit card. American Roots said they're having a problem with it too. LJC says, Zach, what's the last 4 digits of your phone number?
Oh.
Yeah. Skanes Girl says, I used PayPal. Anyone you can donate to Kelly. When you can donate to Kelly. I'm lost.
Anyone you can donate to, Kelly.
Oh, anyone you can donate to, comma, Kelly.
Okay, so there might be ones.
Yeah.
So when I clicked the link, there were different options,
Okay.
And so he's saying pick one that works for you.
Yep. There's the last of his phone number for anybody that needs it. I'll leave that up there here. Gypsy says they used PayPal, and it worked just fine. So I'll leave that back up there. You see here, 3 small towns near us had their water supply infrastructure hacked by Russians. There's a whole bunch of stuff being hacked right now.
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch. And talk about getting freer. Mo says he picked up a 12.5 kilowatt system complete this week.
Good job.
Good for you. Yeah.
That is exciting.
And Mo, I don't know, a lot of you guys don't know Mo, but I know Mo really, really well. And he's already a long ways. So this is a big step.
This is,
that's a big step for Mo. I'm proud of you, bud.
Congratulations.
And I'm proud of you from a lot more than just that. You're a good dude.
You're a good dude.
He is. He's a good dude.
It's not all shit.
It's not all shit. No matter what Mo says, it's just simply not that. All right. I'm sorry, babe. I've been rambling. Oh, one more thing before I'm going to let B talk a little bit.
I don't need to talk. Just keep talking.
Yeah. I wanted to say happy birthday today. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but 249 years ago, the Second Amendment was created today.
Wow.
Yep. So
200 years ago?
Yep. April the 19th, 1775, we were blessed with this. What's that?
Today's the 19th. Yeah.
Yeah. We were blessed with the Second Amendment, which is the one thing that's really helped this country, kind of stay free along the way when a lot of other countries have lost it. It's super, super important. So I just wanted to say happy birthday, Second Amendment. We're so proud of you for being there. And we hope that we can pull our heads out of our keister and defend it. See, April 19th, 1775.
Was the Second Amendment was born.
Yep. So, yep. An awesome day.
You can keep it.
Yep. So, yeehaw. Yep. Woo! I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. Look at that. Happy birthday. Woohoo. Whoop whoop. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you reach the light switch?
Oh, my feet are tangled up. Gotta get my feet out. I had my feet crossed underneath that.
Underneath the bar.
Yep. Hakestraw is getting more ads. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Woohoo. Woohoo. Live on. You guys rock. There. Is that better? Yep. America. All right. So what's next on your list, Pumpkin?
So I got Yoda was by. I got Yoda eggs. Mm-hmm. Actually, they're my eggs that Yoda took and freeze dried. So this right here is a pound of eggs. It says whole eggs. They're not whole eggs. It's the whole egg. But you just take a what was it? 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of egg powder and stir until mixed. Use as a raw egg. So she has these for sale on her website, which is grumpyacresfarm.com. And she has a lot of other things too. But I'm super excited to be able to use up some, because you get so many eggs that you eat and then you water glass and then you freeze and then you bake with and then you
feed them to dogs.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of that. So it's nice to have the ability to have eggs in a whole other way. And these are supposed to be like shelf stable for like 25 years or something.
Yeah.
But
are they scrambled or powdered?
They were scrambled and now they're powdered.
See, Prep Rebel Actual, she's not only making fun of me, she's making fun of you, just so you know.
So yeah, she took all of the eggs. So I got 3 of these bags. So she takes the eggs and scrambles them. She actually puts them in the blender, does a little blend, puts them on her freezer trays, freezes them, puts them in the freeze dryer, freeze dries them, and then packages them. She keeps half for her efforts, and then she gives me half for my food in the first place. So
yeah, we'll talk about. I want to talk about that a little bit. We always talk about the power of community, and here's another good example of that: is that we can't run a freeze dryer because we're off grid, and you can't interrupt the cycle.
Yeah.
As I understand it, and so we don't own it. We don't own a freeze dryer. So what we do, we get an excess of eggs. So we take all those eggs, and Yoda gets them, and then she takes half of them and keeps half of them, and we get the other half freeze dried and returned packaged.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah. And now we have another form of egg, with the dehydrated and frozen and just like I said, and fresh and frozen into quiches and frozen into circles and there's a lot of eggs.
There's a lot. Hey, by the way, did I tell you that Prep Rebel Actual is looking to relocate? We
have farms around here who are wanting to sell.
It's really nice this time of year.
Oh, did you see there's a piece of land, raw land on Old Highway 75 that is, they just put a for sale sign up.
I didn't see it.
It looks to be a smaller lot, not like 40 acres, but it could be like 10 or something, which is still plenty of room to homestead on. But anyway, there's a new piece of property. Actually, didn't Amy just send you another piece of property here in Jackson County?
It was a long ways away though. I think if it's the one I was thinking.
Jackson County.
I'll have to look. I don't remember.
But yeah, I know where there's a great community.
That's right.
Wink, wink.
That's right. Because as we do the same thing here with our freeze dryer with some of our neighbors that have chickens. Yeah, what a great deal.
To freeze dry the chicken?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What an absolute great deal. Yeah. Prep Rebel Actual. I don't know what you guys are looking for, but you can feel free to reach out at me on my through email or whatever it is, and I'd be happy to hook you up with listings or get you on the list. We actually have a like-minded realtor we use.
Yeah. And
that if you want to get on the list, you'll get on the list, and then every piece of property you'll end up with. So we can make that.
Yeah.
And
then when we find ones that are for sale by owner,
we'll prep do them. Yep. Yep. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Okay. Whoever mentioned that buying Zach a cup of coffee was super helpful. Thank you. I don't have PayPal or Venmo. All right, Zach, where you at, buddy? Where you at?
So buy the cup of coffee. That's one of
the ways to do it. Okay. Cause I've gone in there and totally had, challenges with doing it because I just couldn't get any of them to work the way. But again, I also don't have PayPal and I also don't have Venmo. She does.
Yeah.
But I don't. But look at that. $100 to go. And Zach has reached his goal.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. And I think up here I missed somebody in there too. And I want to make sure they get credit for it if I can find it. Zach, there was one right before that too that I'd seen and it went by me fast and I have no idea where it went.
Who posted it, Zach?
Yeah, Zach would have posted it, but I don't know.
Oh no, it was down farther than.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I know I've seen it go by, but anyway, hey, Dorothy Holloway, welcome. Yep, there's the link, guys. $100 left, and young man Zach gets new hardware, new software, And that would be super
and
cool.
then can go publicly speak.
Yep.
Well, has to learn it all.
Well, he's have to learn it all and all that, but that's good, you know. And it's the community taking care of the community.
Yep.
Which is super exciting, I think. At least for me, it's super. So I'll leave that up until I put something else up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. What else you got there, Punk?
Okay, so want to talk about food forest?
Yeah, sure. Talk about food forest.
So I y'all know that I took the soil samples. I took 5 soil samples with 12 to 15 plugs per sample, and then put it in a bucket, stirred it around, put it in 2 cups into a baggie, and then sent them off. Well, I got my results back, soil report and saturated paste report. Something interesting that I have found is in the 5 samples that I took, 4 of them were deficient in potassium.
Yeah, what I also found interesting is a lot of them were heavy in magnesium. Right, because see, the desired value was 422. What they found was 387. But if you read the other ones, a lot of them you had good magnesium, but yeah, potassium you were short on, which is super interesting.
Oh no, that one's deficient. That one's deficient. Oh yeah, this one's doubled
the
value.
Yeah.
But yeah, so calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium. Then the exchangeable cautions, the base saturation, trace elements, other aminos. And then the saturated paste test, which I don't understand this, but because these are the same, I'll have to talk to Evan about these. Our soil guy.
She has a soil guy.
I have a soil guy, and he's going to explain all of this to me as soon as he gets back from his trip. But yeah, these were they say the 18th. So man, they got these done yesterday, sent them right over to us, and I printed them.
Yeah.
All on the same
Florida
day.
Mama Bird said, doesn't too high magnesium bind up the potassium in the soil? I don't know. This would not be my forte.
Maybe Hippocrates can answer that.
The instigator probably would know.
He's a pretty smart fella.
He's an instigator. For sure.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see what this all means, because there's just a crap ton of numbers. All just per sample. So, or maybe Mo knows, I don't know. Anyway, got my soil samples back, and now we get to what's the next step.
So, the report, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but more than the samples, the actual full report is back from the soil guy.
Oh, I didn't know
it's in your
that.
It's in your
inbox.
inbox.
Because this is from the lab.
Yeah, not the lab report.
Okay.
So he took that and he now summarizes it, and you have it in your inbox.
Well,
me and B have
down.
one of our email addresses, which is tagandb@lifedonefree.com. We both get.
And I don't pay no mind to it unless he says, "Hey, there's something in there."
She don't pay no mind to much, but
there's no glitter in there.
Yeah. See, if you want to know who controls you, look at whom you are not allowed to criticize. Oh yeah. Yeah, better to be a smart feller than a fart smeller. Yeah, amen. Gardening in Canada YouTube channel as a soil scientist. She would know the answer. Well, we have a guy who that's what he does, and he's interpreted it for us. She just hasn't read it yet. Yeah. And I just haven't gotten to it yet.
And he has assigned it to us.
Yes. Yes, he can't get rid of us. That ship sailed.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
We're excited though. So anyway, you got that report back. We're going to do the site survey. Happens on
early May.
The 10th of May, right? Because the 12th, 11th, 10th. Yeah, the 10th of May. We have a whole big old thing going on here on the 10th of May. Got a big dinner and a bunch of stuff as the 9th, as the Midwest Preparedness Project kicks off. So
Tag's birthday's on the 8th.
On the 8th, yep.
And we're having a dinner on the 9th.
Yeah, I'm going to be 29, in case anybody wants to know.
Plus 30.
I'll take that.
It's 59.
Oh, is it? I don't take that. Nope, I won't do any of that. Hoskins 14. How are you? Welcome. Let me see here. I seem to remember magnesium and calcium are two that can counter affect each other. Trying to remember if those are the ones that are manipulated to counter compaction. Yep. And then May the 12th is Mother's Day.
Oh,
that'd be cool. We could celebrate a whole bunch of Mothers. So Mother's Day is going to be
that's Sunday of the camp out.
Of the camp out. That's cool.
I didn't know that.
That's super cool. All right, what else you got?
Oh, let me just keep on going. Hey, I found more turkey eggs. So I found the first 10. We had Sarah was missing from her coop, and we couldn't find her. You said, hey, she's over here, and I picked her up, and she had 10 eggs underneath her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to grab those and bring them and put them in the incubator. And then now,
and you've candled them.
There's something in every one of them.
Yep.
I have like 12 days left to go, I think, maybe 10. It was 11 or 12. I don't know. Geesh. Anyways, well, so I think it was 2 days ago, both of our female turkeys were missing, and I was able to find one. Mm-hmm. And I found she had another 10 eggs underneath her, which I dropped one and it cracked. So I fed that to the dogs, and I was able to bring the other 9 in, and I put them in the incubator and switched the other eggs into that incubator also, so that I was only running 1 instead of 2. And now, Nara is still missing. So she comes out for a little bit during the day, and then she disappears, and she doesn't come or go while I'm out there, because if I could see where she's coming from, we have looked in every brush pile. We looked everywhere that we could think of. Again, I'm just not a very good finder.
Are you sure you've looked everywhere?
Are
you sure?
I didn't look in the shipping container. But we looked in all the brush piles, and I thought if I had some, what do you call those?
Thermals.
If I had thermal vision, that I could maybe look and see if I could see like a heat source coming out of one of the piles, then maybe I could find her. But the neighbor goes, you don't need those. I can find her. I know what to look for. And I'm like, bring it, buddy. Because I'd love to have them eggs. So
yeah. Hey, Zach, can you post your email address in the chat so that if people want to contact you through email, they can? Hey, Tulip, welcome, by the way. Says, yeah, I know Billy, and I may reach out to him, but like I said, we've got somebody on it. Yeah, she is not giving up her eggs. No, she's hid well.
Oh, man, I spent hours looking for her.
Yep. And Zach, can you tell us how far we are again? Give us an update, because LJC is wanting to know how the telethon is going.
The telethon?
Yeah.
Do you remember those? We've got a call coming in right now.
Yeah. Won't you be excited to see the little Turks show up one day without intervention? Yes.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Because the likelihood of them all coming out, I mean, usually you got like one that survives.
Yep.
At least on our farm.
Prep Rebel Actual says, Tag, if you have 30 years of experience being 29, you still have a few years experience to go to catch up. I do. So everybody knows I will be 51.
Yeah.
So, hey, Tim, welcome, bud. Yep, unique. There we go. $100. We're $100 away. Drum roll, please. Yep. Feels like Easter. Yeah, it's like an Easter egg hunt.
I'm not good at that job.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you check in the shipping containers?
No. But I should probably check under the shipping containers.
You might want to check somewhere, right?
Just when you think that you've looked everywhere, then boom.
You are very welcome, Silver Lining. Very welcome. All right, you want me to go, or you? I'm going to talk about your seating real quick, because everything I have left in the chat is news from around the world, right?
Okay.
Like normal stuff. So.
So the last thing on my list then is what you're talking about. Well, I've got 2 things. Our new moo cow. I believe it was her mucus plug came out, so we should be expecting a baby anytime. I'm thinking. Not 100% sure on that. We're learning. That will be a new experience for me. But Tag says, make sure you have towels in case like it's raining and you got to get that baby dry. I don't know. I could always bring her in the house.
Okay.
Bring them both in.
Tag says, go back to Starla dealing with Zach. So, Zach, someone wants to contact you direct because they don't have any of those methods. And so, if you will post your email address in here, if you can. Here, let me see here if I can. I don't know how to do
No,
it.
you don't want to do
I
that.
can't do it. I got to do it from YouTube. I was going to, anyway, so we need to know your email address. Let me see here. Make a lot of noise so she gobbles. Oh, Hardway, Alaska. That might work.
Like on the brush piles?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you, LJC, for the contributing to the telethon. Yep. Have Louise check her. Yeah, the cow. Yeah, Lou's over here a lot, and she guides us a lot. She's kind of a badass. She's a big help. Yeah, she's kind of a badass.
And I accept all of her advice.
Yeah.
The last thing on my list I had was we are getting ready to seed our land. So we have a couple paddocks. They're not paddocks yet. It's sectioned off. It's not even sectioned. How do I word that? It's just field that we are going to seed.
Mm-hmm.
And we have like big blue stem, little blue stem, lead plant, Indian grass, roundhead lespediza, purple prairie clover, eastern gamma grass, and cytogramma grass. Anyway,
did you check the shipping container?
We have a combination.
And then you guys wonder why I buy me a side by side.
Sharma.
You just demonstrated it.
No, I didn't.
Grass. I need a side by side.
I can do it with you by my side.
In my new side by side.
Buy me a new side by side. So we are renting the seeder from the
extension office.
The extension office, yeah. And we are going to seed. I've not done this before, so we have prairie grass that's growing up there, just native stuff that the earth has given us, but getting some more out there will be nice and helpful because we have cows that need to eat. So,
and she's running an illegal poker game behind the shipping container.
I hope not. I didn't. So maybe somebody knows. Can turkey eggs get wet and still be vile? They have a
pretty hard shell.
Yeah, but
with you by my side, the country song. No, it's supposed to say with you buying my side by side.
By my side by side. With you buying my side by side. So anyway, that will be an experience. We got to keep the animals off of the new seeded area for a couple of years, get that established. And then hopefully in a couple of years, we'll be able to have the paddocks and do our rotational grazing along with what we're learning, being a good steward to the land, being productive, doing for ourselves, and all of these things.
Read.
We got it as soon as Buy Me a Coffee releases the money. It's ordered.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for all of your help with this.
Yeah, it has been. It's taken a few lives to get it done, and there's other channels who help with this too, and so there's lots of credit goes out to all of them. But how cool is it to be able to invest in our own community? And I'm telling you, that's a place where you can feel, where you put your money where it's going to make a big impact in somebody's life. Something that we will forget about in a month and won't even notice we did it. Right. But for him, it'll be life changing. And this is a fabulous thing. And
he'll be able to go around and speak. So it's life changing for a lot of people. Yeah. And Zach, when you get it all mastered, you let me know. And I know all kinds of prepper shows and homesteading shows and all kinds of those kinds of promoters. And we are absolutely going to make it happen. Big congratulations to you. Yeah, big congratulations to you. Zach says, thank you so much, community. I love you all so much. Yeah, how cool is that, right? I mean, living well, Zach, is the best revenge, and never forget it, right? When you live well, you don't have to talk, right? You don't have to say nothing, right? Living well. Nope. You just be happy in your own world.
Yeah, look at all these congrats you got going on here. Yay, Zach. Look at that. Look at all of this. You guys are just so awesome. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, what a blessing.
What a blessing. And congratulations, Zach. And I hope you do a video about it. Talk about your experience, right? Going through the whole process.
Yeah.
Because I think that will touch people too, and that will help people too. Look at that, Spags. Yep, how cool is that? I'm glad that the community got to make a difference. Yep, look at that. Congrats, Zach. Looking forward to seeing you at the festival. Yep. Woo! Look at all that. Mo, congrats, Zach. Now you only need to be a side-by-side and the world is yours. Yeah, look at those. Congratulations. Yeah, how cool. Super, super, super cool. Jules says, as soon as I get everything set up and working, let me know, and I'll help you when you're ready to come to the festival. Look at that. Yeah, pretty cool. You guys absolutely rock. All right, you guys ready to talk about positive stuff from the world?
Is there any?
Sure. Ready? Let's talk about some positive stuff. FBI claims China could be set to launch attacks against U.S. infrastructure any day. Chinese hacking group Vol Typhoon has infested system used to manage U.S. infrastructure and is now waiting for the opportunity moment to strike, FBI Director Christopher Wray says. So this is the director of the FBI.
Okay, this is good news?
Yeah. The systems affected are used to control water, energy, telecommunications, among other sectors, with previous attacks linked to Chinese hacker group possibly being practice attacks in order to create the playbook. He goes on to say, Ray says China's plan is to land low blows against civilian infrastructure to try to induce panic and break America's will to resist. The FBI director was speaking at a securities conference called the Summit of Modern Conflict and Emerging Threats, hosted by Vanderbilt University in Nashville. This just came out today. The 2024 edition of the summit was focused on challenges China poses to the United States, ranging from China's dominance to critical supply chain to the fentanyl epidemic and cyber war. Ray, which again, guys, Ray is the FBI director, right, called the audience attention to the Volt Typhoon, a massive hacking operation linked to the People's Republic of China that penetrated an alarming number of critical infrastructure systems in the U.S., including water, power, oil, and transportation. Volt Typhoon was detected and exposed by Microsoft security technicians in May of 2023. Microsoft said the China's state-sponsored hackers sought to develop capabilities that could disrupt critical communication infrastructures between the United States and Asia region during future crises. Ray noted that China-sponsored hackers were pre-positioned for potential cyber attacks against U.S. and natural gas companies way back into 2011. When one victim company set up a honeypot, essentially the trap designed to look like a legitimate part of the computer network with decoy documents. It took the hackers all of 15 minutes to steal the data related to the control and monitoring systems, he recalled. Ray pointed out that the incident, the hackers ignored financial and business-related information, which suggests their goals was even more sinister than stealing a leg up economically. The honeypot systems are usually hardened to make cracking their core software extremely difficult, but the designers then camouflage the system to look more and more vulnerable than it really is. The honeypot is a setup, and its administrators know they will be invaded. So for the invaders to quickly defeat the trap and penetrate the security of a rigged system is a remarkable achievement. Volt Typhoon was a menacing example of hacking technologies known as living off the land, in which the hackers penetrated system, deposited malware payloads, and then concealed their presence by exploiting and imitating normal system functions. The approach could be compared to a thief who takes a job as a bank teller and quietly works there for years before finally deciding to rob the bank. Yeah, happening every day. As you know, hey, Ghetto, what's up, bud? How are you? Good to see you. There's another good channel. Ghetto's a good guy. I don't know, Ghetto, if you've seen it or not, but Zach has reached his goal for his new system, and we should be off and running, which is super, super cool. Yeah, it's happening every day. We just don't hear about it. Every single day it's happening.
In lots of ways.
Yep. And just think, guys, and I wanted to just talk just a little bit about this. What would happen if you woke up without power and the ATMs didn't work and the grocery stores and the water treatment facilities, right?
Is that what that is?
That's the bottom left sewer treatment plant. What happens if you just didn't have any of those things? What I think all of us, with everything that's going on, all of us need to take a strong look at how dependent we are on these things and what have we done to mitigate, not eliminate, but mitigate those risks in any way you can, which is why we decided to buy solar generators, right, as our giveaways this year at the Midwest Preparedness Project. It's happening every day, and I can give you guys many examples to what's going on, but one just happens from this week. Currently, mysterious widespread outages are occurring across the nation, including the whole state of South Dakota, Nebraska, parts of Nevada, Texas, Iowa, Florida, Wisconsin, and Kentucky. Officials report major disruptions in the 9/11 services, preventing emergency calls from getting through. The cause of this outage remains unknown at this time, as officials are actively investigating. The situation is still developing, with more outages occurring. So at the end of the day, we talked about not having power, water, and all those things. But what if you couldn't fill a prescription? Or what if you couldn't call for help? Do you know your neighbors?
Yeah.
You know who lives right down the street from you? Have you built those? Have you yoked up? Have you found community? Because, guys, the system isn't going to be here for us. I mean, it's super, super clear that it's not going to be here. And I'm going to point out all kinds of things that leads to this kind of as we go on through the night. But they're not going to be here. And I think finding backup systems, as Florida Mama Bear says, are a must, even if you can't run it all, you guys, because everything takes money. And if putting a big solar system in that runs all your needs is a super expensive deal. But can we do something small?
Yeah.
Can we make sure we can charge, a computer or a laptop, or run a refrigerator or a freezer?
Yeah.
I mean, can we do those little things? Because those things are within reach of just about everybody.
Or like medical equipment.
Yep. CPAP. What happens if you're
on a
nebulizer and it goes down and you can no longer run it? That's why we need to go back to the pioneer days of living independent. Tim says, seems like they're preparing the battlefield by testing their control of the systems. Yeah, I think there's a lot to this, Tim. I think what you said right here is kind of the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to talk about this a lot tonight because I have my theories too. But I think, Tim, you are very right on it, unfortunately. And I wish that wasn't the case, but I believe it to be. What do you think about all that?
I'm not surprised. And when we just had that first storm this week, the 911 was out in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
That big fire that came through, they were evacuating parts of Kansas. There was the tornado that just happened south of Topeka. They didn't even sound the siren because it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah. Instigator says, long live root cellars, right? And dehydrators and candle making. LJC says they weren't independent in the pioneer days. People took care of themselves, but neighbors helping neighbors too. That's 100% true. If you guys look at any of the history books, the wagon trains that came west from the east, there's a big story to that. They had the promise of free land or, gold for everybody or whatever it was, which was propaganda back then. But as they came apart, they were often stopping at trading posts.
Oh, yeah.
They were often doing those things in order to get the supplies they need. And then furthermore, very few wagon trains came across alone, right? They had yoked up, right? As American Roots would say. So communities absolutely work together. Yep, Jules, that's why I'm grateful I got away from the medical industrial complex. No doubt. Silver Lining says, I really wish I had a root cellar. Yep. And you know what, guys, again, it's brutal for everybody. And every single step we take is brutal. All of those things are true, but we've got to do something. We just can't allow ourselves to be so dependent on everything.
Yeah.
Just start doing something.
Well, yeah, it's time for the next year. It's time to get away from that.
Yeah.
I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
Or, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Quit waiting. Right. Quit waiting.
Do something.
Banquet says making textiles, sewing cordage, linen wicks for oil lamps. Packard says all the 9/11 systems in our area are routed through one junction in Florida. I understand the system regionalized on a large scale. I think a lot of what's coming is planned to create fear and control people. I'm currently studying to get my amateur radio license for long distance communications.
Good.
Silver Lining says build your apothecary friends.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, they're talking. Let me see here. I'll be coming through your area tomorrow. I'll give you all a drive-by wave. Hey, Kelly, you should. And if you're close, feel free to stop. We'll be around all day. So Let me see. I'm taking Jack Spirico's course on a bioreactor. Oh, cool. That's cool. For a fast fruit seller, bury a small shipping container. Yeah, just be careful with the pressure on the sides, right? Yeah, the question we ask ourselves is, if not now, then when? Guys, I'm telling you, time now is the time. Right now is the time.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it at that.
You can't do everything at once.
You can't, but you
make
can
a list and start checking them off.
You can do something. You can absolutely do something right now, Skanes girl. I could not agree more.
Now.
I absolutely could not.
Today.
Agree. Today. Yep. Ready for some more good news?
I don't know. Your good news isn't very
China
good.
on the brink of Taiwan invasion as NATO braces for World War III. This has been a big topic, and I've
heard this.
Well, I posted a bunch of articles that I found on this, and it seems to me that most news medias are really pushing towards this. And I think there's a lot of really interesting facts. If you look, you guys always got to follow the money, right? And following the money lets you kind of know where things are. You guys remember 2 lives ago, we broke apart the new budget bill that they passed. And if you remember, I was telling you about how it's interesting how each section of that bill, like the one that goes to Department of Homeland Security or the one that goes to education, all of them had money for the industrial military complex.
Yeah.
All of them.
And you kept saying that.
And
kept coming back to that.
Right. And it actually doubled. The military budget doubled. Why would it double? Unless they know.
So they can use it.
Well, I think that we've allowed our military to degrade some. And I think that we're facing some big threats. And I think behind the scenes, our government is spending trillions of dollars to build our military right now. And I think our government believes that we're going to have a world conflict and that it's in our future. Yeah. They don't want to panic people, right? They can't come out and say that, because if they did, what would happen?
Bank runs.
Right. They're never going to say that. However, they're just going to do it behind the scenes. But I believe with everything in my heart that behind the scenes, they are preparing. And I know some of the background history of it. And it sure seems to me like that's what the clues, not conclusions, but what the clues, kind of lead to. Yep. One of my neighbors Wednesday left me a $250 Lowe's card with $100 on the back, I guess because they know I'm slowly trying to build a cabin. Stan, I love this.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Why is NATO concerned with the Pacific? Yeah, I think there's a lot to this. Will be cool. I think there's a whole lot to it, and I think America is as weak as it's probably ever going to be. And so if you were China, who have vowed to reunite with Taiwan, and it might not even be about that, right? Japan, the islands off Japan, whatever, Russia, Ukraine, Iran, Israel, and we'll talk about all of those things, but absolutely crazy. Our military is low on munition. They shipped off too much to Ukraine. Well, I can tell you guys, and I know this, the factories are full going, absolutely full going. Paying for gain of function H5N1 in Wuhan again. I seen that, and they funded some money for that, didn't they?
Really?
And how easy would it be to spread something biological over the top of the United States with a balloon? Just saying. I'm so thankful for Ghetto helping me get into prepping 2 years ago next month. I'm really awake now. Yeah, good for you. Ghetto says, I'm learning to dance like Taylor Swift. That does not surprise me. That way people will take care of me when the shit hits the fan happen. And you know what? I think we have demonstrated in the past that there's some unique connection, Ghetto, between you and Taylor Swift. Yep. See here, Jules said, I called the place to look into the cost of shipping a container, not in my budget right now. Yeah. Won't matter how big the threat is if we have no gas in our strategic reserves. 100%. And I often wonder how much of that is sensationalism, how much of that is fact, how much of that is scare tactic, because you just simply can't believe anything. You just simply can't. America reminds me of a game of Risk where you get to spread out to defend yourself. Yeah. Huh? RN, good night to you. Let me see here. Or that's the perspective they want us to see. Right. The Antichrist is at work. We're not prepping for a war. We're prepping for a psyops of a war. They want us to beg them for a one world system. Well, and they might just get it, bud. There's how much of the talk you guys see going around now about we're finally going to get away from the constitutional republic and get into a real democracy and a popular vote. There's states, Maine just signed off on it, that they want to just have the popular vote and, no longer, have the traditional system, which is super, super bad, which, we may get to. But Hope Hills International Ministry, welcome. I haven't seen you in a little while. Super glad you're here.
Philippines.
Pearl Forest, hello. Said they tell us that they're going to do before they do it. They do, and it's interesting to me that they are all over the news. And I'll share all kinds of headlines with you guys about this. Let me see here. I'll skip that article. It's time to read it to you guys. This is from today. U.S. gathers almost all of its nuclear stealth bombers in a massive show of force amid World War III fears. So this picture was taken at a Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, which is home to a lot of these kinds of things. And, so there's a whole bunch of games going back and forth. Unique says that basically Ghetto is like Taylor Swift because Ghetto has no Adam's apple. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Hope Hills International Ministry. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Let's see what else we got in here. How about markets rocked as U.S. says Israel has struck Iran? I wanted to talk to you guys about that whole thing because I find this also super fascinating. But global oil and gold prices have jumped while shares have slumped after U.S. officials said an Israeli missile had struck Iran. In Asia trade on Friday morning, Brent crude rose by more than 3% to around $90 a barrel, while gold was trading close to a new record high of $2,400 an ounce. What do you guys think about, again, we only get what they tell us, right?
Yes.
But what do you think about the Israel attack back on Iran? Because I have some interesting thoughts on that. But Israel strikes Iran in retaliation for the weekend assault. Israel has carried out limited strikes in Iran after Tehran fired a barrage of missiles and drones at Israel last Saturday. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Friday that the U.S. Had no involvement in the matter, which is not true.
Oh.
An Iranian official has told Reuters that Iran has no immediate plans to hit back at Israel for Friday's airstrikes. The Iranian president came out and spoke and made no mention of the Israeli strike, despite threatening complete destruction. Again, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Jules says, from my understanding, the strike on Iran isn't all the lamestream media is mailing it out to be. Well, that's true 100%, right? 100%. See here. Yeah, there's a lot that, Yeah, and there has been a lot of flying training going on around the base. Yeah. They have the right to defend themselves. Of course they do. Absolutely. I think they did what they needed to do. Well, I actually think their response was brilliant. And I'll tell you why I think I was brilliant. So as I understand it, and if the information that I have is accurate, which you have to put a big asterisk to all of that, right?
Yeah.
So Iran fires hundreds of drones, rockets, ICBMs at Israel. Israel shoots down the vast majority of them.
Okay.
They had a couple hits. I know that the Ministry of Intelligence was hit. I know there was an air base that was hit, but mainly between the American jets, the American boats, and the Israeli, they shot down the vast majority of them. Israel launched way less back at Iran and penetrated way deep into Iran and hit the targets that they intended to hit. So I think the message back was, look, you can throw thousands of rockets at us. We're going to shoot them out of the sky, but I can hit you anywhere on your soil with pinpoint accuracy and you won't even know we're there. And there's reports coming back now of F-35s, which is, America's, not just America, a lot of countries, one of the top line fighters just appearing all of a sudden. They didn't know they were there. And so I think the statement that Israel made was a pretty big statement of, look, I can get you anywhere I want and you can't get me kind of statement. So it didn't have to necessarily be as big. I hope Iran just stops right here. And, some people say they're going to go back to the proxy wars that they've been in before or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I think this has the makings of some pretty ugly stuff. And again, we'll continue to talk about this, but they got Iranian assets all over the Middle East. Yeah, but they were not very successful. And I think one thing you can pretty much universally agree, at least in the Western world, is that it was unsuccessful. But again, that's Western propaganda, right? Eastern propaganda might be something.
Yeah, you're told what they want you to know.
Yeah, they won't. Another attack is coming from Iran. Yeah, and if they do, that's just going to continue to spark amongst, many other things going on in the world today. Israel was targeting military bases in Iran with strikes and hit what they intended to hit, according to the source, as the crowds chant death to Israel and death to America in Iran. And again, I'd be willing to bet you that is super propaganda. That there's very few people actually in that crowd doing that. That's just what we're hearing. Israel and the media say they took down 99%, but they also refused to show the actual damage that was done by the hypersonic missile that they couldn't hit. It's just hard to tell what's real, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder how much AI controls any of the info they're getting on any of these wars and how real or fake they are. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, One Step Closer said it perfectly. Truth is the first casualty of war.
Oh.
Well, he's right. Right. But look at these, you guys. These all I did was just took the news page and clipped it out.
And these were all from today.
Today, 9 hours ago, 10 hours ago, 9 hours ago, and 4 hours ago. And the headlines read, World War III on the brink as Vladimir Putin is poised to invade NATO countries. Why Israel has attacked Iran, and could it lead to World War III? Iran's chilling threat to drop nuclear pledge as Israel tensions spike after missile strike amid World War III. Inside Iran's vital nuclear hub, where explosions were heard as World War III fears sent soaring. These are just headlines, right? And just the Daily Express, the Mirror. I guess the other ones are Daily Express too. But I mean, if you Google it, that's just, happened to what come up. And I like to do that because that's obviously what they're pushing is what you're seeing, right?
Right.
Most people chanting death to America are probably here. Ouch. Yeah, Zelensky mad causes allies of Israel shooting down Iran missiles, but not Russies for Ukraine. Well, it's so political. It is so political. Oh, we'll get rid of that. Anyway, next topic. I thought that it's interesting that the World Health Organization's top scientist now sounds the alarm about the bird flu and the need for a new vaccine development. That's exciting, isn't it?
No.
No? You don't think so?
They're still pushing those, huh?
They are still pushing those.
30 minutes ago.
Yep, the World Health Organization's top scientist said this week the recent bird flu outbreak is of great concern to public health. The vaccine development to halt the virus is not where we need to be. The virus, known as H5N1, which typically circulates among poultry and wild birds, has spread to mammals, including cows, cats, and at least 2 people in the U.S. in recent years. The new development experts are eyeing is that the virus is now passing from mammal to mammal. Yeah. Oh, what's this? They are chanting that in Dearbornistan, Dearborn, Michigan. Death to America. Yeah, so crazy, right? Your kind of positivity is different than mine, Tang. No, I am positive Gator, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm awake, I'm aware, and I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it every single day.
Doing what we can to,
That's right.
to better ourselves,
That's right.
better our community.
Yep.
Better you.
Yeah, correct. And so I'm positive about that. I'm so glad that I'm not still caught up in the rat race of the corporate world. I'm so glad I am where I am. B said to me today,
Fly me side by side.
Yeah, you said that too, but she also said that life was wonderful and that that she's living the exact life that she wants to live, even though it's hard, right?
Yeah.
And we were driving back from getting some T-posts today.
And it's not always easy.
Nito said, I saw a sign at a pharmacy, 10% off groceries with the vaccine at Safeway.
Man.
Yeah. Stop doing business at Safeway.
No kidding.
G. John's Welcome says, if Sunnyside eggs don't scare you, i.e. bird flu, then monkeypox will be next.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and it's so crazy.
Can't eat the runny eggs.
When you've lost so much faith in the powers that be, I've thought many, many times about things like, I wonder if the COVID was about getting people to get mad and say, no government, no government. So then they refuse a vaccine when they really need one, when something is real, right? Or, was it really about how many people could they get? I mean, obviously it was a political stunt, but I just wouldn't put anything past any of them. I just wouldn't, I watch a ton of podcasts with former military and intel officers, and they're saying something completely different. Sometimes the best place to find news is media outside the West. Yeah. And Jules, I'll tell you, before the live, I spend several hours up here looking through alternative news, mainstream news, all kinds of stuff, trying to, get the best.
That's only if they're speaking English, though, because a lot of times I have listened to things that were in a foreign language and trying to read the subtitles. And I don't know that that's what they're saying, right? It's someone's interpretation of what they're saying.
Right. Yeah. Florida Mumber says, one step at a time, one day at a time, doing the best you can where you are at the moment. Just do something. Yes. Right. And sometimes, guys, we're in a place where we don't have any resources, but what we could do is we could get out and start a list.
Yeah.
What we could do is research a little bit. What we could do is learn how to read a soil sample.
Yeah.
Right. There's something everyone can be doing.
You could also do some stretches.
Oh,
drink some water, get good rest. You know, trying to take care of yourself, because if you are sick and it's the healthcare system isn't there to help you, taking care of yourself is something that you can be doing. And drinking your water, eating better foods, getting some sleep.
Live a life with purpose. Get out of the rat race. Don't be stressed. Right?
Yeah. Don't stress about it.
You know, I mean, I think there's all of that, you know. One more rock says the CDC is still listing COVID vaccine on childhood vaccine schedule. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Jules says, I can get you a list of alternative news from Brazil, Philippines, Greece, Poland, etc. Yeah, a bunch of them I read. I don't know if I read the ones you read, but I do read a fair amount of them. Study at the library. Lots of good books on traditional skills. Exactly. Everybody can be doing something. And
it's free for a book at the library.
Yeah. If we're sitting on the couch watching MSNBC or Fox News bitching because the politicians don't care about you, you're missing it. You're absolutely missing it. And there's just no point in that anymore. And the day for that is over. And we absolutely have to put action behind what we do. And we have to do it with intention, and we have to do it every single day, because they ain't coming, guys. I can give you example and example after example of how they're not coming. They are just simply not coming. Yeah. I love starving the beast. Boy, I do too. Yeah. Be mindful of your health. Yeah. Yes. Florida Mom Bear is working in my garden as a stress relief. Exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
And then watching the things grow, it's just warms my heart.
B, I'm sitting here eating ice cream, and I felt like you were singling me out. Telling me you were.
No, I wasn't. I'm not saying don't have ice cream, but could you make it with something like your own cream?
Right.
And honey.
One of the European countries is recommending the COVID vaccine jab every 3 months, starting at 6 months old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, thanks. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And all childhood vax are covered under the 1986 Acts of Immunity for big pharma companies. Well, yeah. And Congress and the government. I've got a slide a little bit later about that. Bird, bovine, swine flu. What commercial meat sort hasn't been targeted? Right. Another great point. Yeah. Right. I spend my days working towards being free. My seed starting rack is full, moving, spreading wood chip piles for the solar install.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Amen. I am now dependent on hip and ankle brace on my right leg and left leg, hip and ankle, and a separate ankle to foot. I'm looking for someone who works with leather to do me leather braces that would be more comfortable. Yeah, look up on the internet, Starla DeVries Leather. Very like-minded, good guy. He's been on here in the Leather Homestead. Has been on here many times on the lives, and he does absolutely great work. Sometimes you can find good books cheap at secondhand shops
or garage sales.
Yep. I just heard that one can vote federal election with just an address. You can vote and be illegal. Only local and state do you have to have identification.
Oh, seems backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah. Silver Lining wants some cherry ice cream.
She wants cherry ice cream.
So when Silver Lining comes out to visit with us, and B buys her cherry ice cream because she likes.
I did, but then I looked at the ingredients and I'm not buying it anymore.
Okay, looks like you're screwed, Silver Lining.
We're just gonna have to get some cherries and some raw milk and freeze it and make our own, and it will be delicious.
Yeah, Jules says I need people who can do clearing, tree work, and fencing so that I can get started on making my garden spaces. Yeah, Jules, you need people who will teach you how to do that so you can do those things for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Because clearing trees, I've done a lot of that, and it's just time.
Yep. It makes me.
You are capable of clearing some of that.
Amen. 100%. It makes me so angry that they are doing to their own people. I see signs pushing for vaccines in children all the time. Well, I've got something just for you, Scainsville. It's going to make you feel a lot better.
Probably not.
About kids and about some of the things that are going on in the world. Are you ready? Ready to feel a little bit better about it? Okay. UN report calls for legalizing sex between adults and children. A disturbing new report from the United Nations program on HIV and AIDS adds to the growing concerns about global leaders pushing to normalize pedophilia. And I'll share something with you guys that was really interesting. So this was a story that broke on MSNBC, and I want to show you right here. I'm so glad I clipped it when I had it on my phone.
Because is it gone now?
Right. So right there, new UN-backed legal recommendations normalize sex with minors. Right. The United Nations now promotes adults having sex with minors, and I clipped it. And I do that because then later on, what I do is I come back in prior to the live and I look the article up and I research. And guess what shows up now? This page no longer exists. I clipped these when I read it the first time because on my phone it's hard to read. So I just usually clip the address and I want to get back to the story at some point.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys believe that?
And wrong.
Can you believe that? Yep. O for Foxtrot Sierra. Yep. What the? Yep. Hell no. Oh, hell no. Yep. I'm doing my own clearing, getting ready for my blueberry bushes.
Good
Yep. Makes me sick. And look at this. Oh my God. People will burn in hell. I know this is just,
no kidding.
I cannot believe that. First of all, the articles don't exist. And I urge you guys, if you Google UN report calls for legalizing sex between adults and children, these articles will come up, but they won't take anywhere anymore. All you can see is the headline.
I have heard about this though in recent months.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, I cannot believe. Well, it is. Nitos perfectly said. Right?
Yep.
Absolutely
That's
the
true.
way it is. Yeah.
That is true.
The good news is that there are some things that are going really, really well, right? I mean, you know, the kid thing's bad. The war, World War III is bad, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's bad, but there are good things out there, right? Like the FDIC warns of bail-in of your deposits and says you don't need to know. They actually caught them on video talking about it wouldn't be healthy to tell the American people that they plan to do a bail-in. Expert warns U.S. government planning to freeze all American bank assets. BYN Mellon's Pershing is still losing assets. Blame the regional bank crisis. Employment numbers are misleading. The coming banking crisis is why inflation will moderate, says Forbes. A zombie office time bomb. Commercial real estate foreclosures jump 117% in March as experts warn it could trigger the next banking crisis. Regional bank failures may be ahead. Former FDIC head Bear warns. Bank runs spooked regulators. Now a clampdown is coming. So
don't leave your money in the bank.
Keep all your money in the bank, right? Well, yep. The Frank Dodd Act is the law about bail-ins. Yeah, so for anybody that don't know what a bail-in is they just take your money and give you an IOU. That's what that means. Versus bail out, versus the government giving them money, they're just going to take your money. Yep. Isn't that absolutely crazy? Does it make you feel better?
No, they've done that. They've done that in the past. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be the first time.
No. And I think this is the thing, though, guys, that we've been talking about all night long is if we're dependent on the banking system to be able to do all of our transactions, you are now a slave to the banking system.
Yeah.
If you're dependent upon the electric system to turn on your energy, you are a slave to the electric system.
Yeah.
I'm not being mean. It's just factual. How many of those fronts do you have to ask permission from? None of us are going to get rid of all of them, guys. I'm telling you, I am not going to be able to produce unleaded gasoline on my front driveway, right? But what can you do? And I'm telling you, absolutely, 100% of us can do something. You want to play some trivia?
Something. I don't know.
Do
I?
It's positive.
Your positive stuff is not so positive.
What do all these things have in common? And you know what all those are? So like FISA at the bottom, that's the law that allows them to spy on Americans without a warrant.
Okay. Like what? These are all going on now?
I want to see if someone gets it. I mean, you can, though. There was this one guy who invented a car that ran on water. Yeah, he didn't make it long, did it? Right?
Nope.
Yeah. Demon rats. Oops. Sorry. One of the next things on my list is to get a bicycle. Good. Yep. Control. Well, we're getting close. Yep. all attacks on Americans. They are all attacks on Americans. But you know what also what they are? Here's the great news, everybody. Ready? These are the things that Congress is exempt from.
Really?
Yes. These are laws and things that apply to you, but they're exempt from. Isn't that lovely? You can make unleaded gas, but you can make food grade ethanol. Yeah, and and again, guys, there's something we can do, and you may be able to get free from the unleaded gas by making ethanol and by changing those things around. But are you also going to have an oil filter plantation in the front of your? I mean, you're never going to get away from all. But again, the point is to get just as close as you can absolutely get.
Yeah.
Mossy Oaks is the way the government is trying to take your freedom. Yep. Ugh. Sorry, Pearl Forest. I know. Oh, Skin Girl says I was just typing that. Yep. So just those are the things that you have to live by.
They don't.
But of course, they don't have to live by, right? And yet, isn't it crazy how the rules don't apply to them, and yet they're the ones pushing to get rid of the republic and bring in the popular vote?
Yeah, they make the rules.
That's right, because popular
they make
vote.
The rules
don't
for
forget,
us.
as they say, it's nothing more than two wolves and a sheep trying to figure out what's for dinner. Right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Ouch.
All right, I get trucking through these. Somebody sent me this, but you guys, there's some talk going around about some Maine farmer stuff, how they are stealing some of the land and trying to buy it cheap from some of the Maine farmers, shutting them down. And so I started to dig into it a little bit today about what was it really about. And it has to do with these PFAs, these forever chemicals that are in the ground. And so
they dumped them on their land.
Yeah. So they've been testing all of these places that have this, they can't sell, grow food on it. They can't sell their land. And so, but here's the good news.
Because it's poison.
Yeah. Well, because it's poison, but the government came up with a program that would allow the government, they could sell it to the government cheap, and the government could buy it as a way to help them out.
Yeah, for $2,600 an acre.
Yeah, right. Like it's absolutely ridiculous.
Like 2 months worth of rent.
Right. So they're buying it. Because it's got these forever chemicals, the government's going to be a nice guy, and they're going to buy up the land from these poor Maine farmers. So I started thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I wonder where all these PFAs come from. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting if you go into it, where it comes, and it says that it's basically coming out of industrial and municipal sites, right, in the USA. And it goes on to talk about all kinds of industrial manufacturers, printers, plastics, resins, semiconductor manufacturers. And then at the very, very end of the article, it says, in addition, military bases and airports are major contributors to the PFAS contamination. So let me get this right. So they pollute it, they condemn it, they buy it for pennies. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are taking the land that they put the sludge on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Isn't there an amendment to the Bill of Rights that makes that illegal? Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like any other document. It only works if it's followed, right? How absolutely sad is that these people are losing their livelihoods, and for what?
$2,600.
Right. So they're going at this. So, okay, the people who are on their land, we're going to get them off by, this step or that step. People who are trying to buy a house, we'll just make a standard, house that was in 2021 a $1,349 payment, a $2,100 payment, which is up 60%. We'll just make them so new people can't afford them. Remember, you're going to own nothing, and you're going to be happy, right? Florida Mom Bear says they're also taking water rights and selling them to cities far, far away. Yep, kind of like the Reagan war on drugs, where they were the ones who flooded the ghettos with drugs. Yeah, and it just on and on and on it goes, right? Yeah, Banquet says, let me see here. Mike Adams on Raytheon has a documentary he did years ago called Biosludge. Milo Granite Organic and Dillo Dirt from Texas was involved. Interesting.
That was a year ago?
Mm-hmm. B listens to Mike Adams from time to time.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think about all that?
I think it's crap.
Crazy that this is the life that we live in. And I think this is why, again, it's so critical that you can take a objective look at your own life and an objective look at your own existence and figure out where you can do better and where you can be a little more independent.
Yeah.
I mean, just tonight we talked about articles where the government's poisoning land in an effort to get it back.
Yeah.
Right. They've infiltrated the medical systems, and we're taking experimental vaccines and forcing people to be in
Mandating
lockdown
them.
and losing their careers. Right. They've taken through their spending and all of this money that goes overseas, which really don't go overseas. It goes to our big government contracting companies that maybe then goes overseas. Right. But all of that just continues to drive up the cost of buying, lending, all of those things. And then there's people who sit around and go, oh, I'm not worried about it. I can just call 911. Well, maybe.
If it's working.
If it's working and if they'll come.
Yeah.
It's just, we've just got to do all we can do to get as free as we can get. And you guys know I've been on this for a long, long time, but I'm telling you, the world, there's something wrong, and every sign in the world is on the wall. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to let my life get consumed with that at the cost of not getting anything done. I'm going to go try to stay busy and all of that. And
don't overanalyze.
Yeah.
Don't be paralyzed.
The problem is you don't know what the truth is.
No, but you can
it's a piece and a piece and a piece.
You can do.
Yep. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I believe that our government is preparing and spending lots and lots and lots of money to get ready for war. And I believe governments all over the world are doing the exact same thing. And you're not being told because you can't handle the truth and because you'll go run on banks, because you'll go do those things. There's every sign in the world that says this is true. And I would really encourage you to do, kind of do something about it. Ghetto says it's our responsibility to our kids not to allow what our ancestors allowed because they didn't want to get uncomfortable. Out of our comfort zone's the only place we grow, right, Ghetto? We're in a position because our elders were fighting the wrong wars. Yeah. So, babe, let's get out of here tonight. What do you want to talk about? Got any parting words you want to talk about with all this positive news I gave you tonight?
Well, I think, it's hard for everybody, right? I mean, if you're sitting around thinking or saying it's hard, well, step 1 is going to be hard. Step 2 is going to be hard. And, step 4 isn't going to be any easier. We gotta do what we can do. And here's the thing too, like, if you don't know where to start, that's what the whole yoking up is about. Like, you meet people and pick their brain and see what they're doing, and that gives you ideas. We have a lot of people who reach out to us and go, okay, I've got this in order and this in order and this in order and this in order, but what do I do now? And
what do we tell them?
I think it's different for everybody, right? They do what they can do.
It is, but
one of them was get out of California.
Right.
One of them was, it's different, but because they're all over the U.S. and in Canada.
Yeah, but I think generally, if you can look yourself in the mirror and you can say, okay, if it was to all erupt tomorrow and all of these systems were being shut down and you were on your own, what will you wish you would have done? Right?
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I say it all the time.
Right.
Because that's how I prioritize my life.
Which is a good idea because, we go, perfect example, your mom.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't seen a doctor in years.
30 years.
And she goes, I should have done this. And I wish I would have done that. And I'm going, don't worry about that. We can't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to look at the future. What can we do now? What can we do with you here now to get you in a better situation? And I think, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our loved ones, a lot of times that doesn't cost any more, money than what you're already spending. And then when you can shoebox away some money and buy a piece of land, or shoebox away some money and buy some fencing or whatever, then you pull the trigger on the things that you wish you would have done. The things that are important to you. And
reach out and get the knowledge. I had a phone call tonight from someone I'm good friends with, and they were talking about putting a basement in and footings and some of these kind of things. And we were just talking through what the process is.
Yeah, how do you do it?
So
where do you start? Do I start with the basement?
Yeah, so it wasn't me going and getting a piece of machinery and going building anything. It was just trying to talk through a process, something so simple.
Yeah.
If I've got a question about what kind of grass seed to plant in the pastures, which because maybe you wouldn't be able to get it and whatever it is. Let's get everything growing as the best we can get it growing.
Yeah.
I got a great buddy right across the street who understands it really well.
Yeah.
I can just pick up the phone and go, hey, tell me why this is the way it is. Which again, yoking up you guys, community is where it's at. I know we have a community right here on the internet, but you need a community locally. You need people right around you can call who will come help. We've you guys know because of my videos, there was a big fire out here a year ago, and we took care of it. Had I had to wait on the fire department, it probably would have all burned down. And so, getting your people, around you. And you guys, it's not a goal about setting out to find 15 of your best friends. Because I'm telling you, there's people in my community I'm not best friends with.
Right.
But if they call me, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Right. I'll absolutely be there.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to take over your.
No, that's fine. I mean, just like the guy who got the gift card and the extra cash because he's building a piece of property. That person that did that for you, go do something for them.
Yeah.
Go help them mow. Go help them put cut a tree down, whatever. Something that you could see them doing, or you drove past and you're like, oh, hey, there's some trash in their yard. Take that 10 minutes to stop and pick it up and, put it in their dumpster or say, hey, is this trash? Do you need some help with this?
Yeah.
Or whatever, things that, and then don't try not to offend them by them saying that is not trash. I'm keeping that because we have a whole line of that stuff.
Yep.
But anyway, be helpful to others
and
encouraging.
I think sometimes in this life, one of the best things is I have someone I can vent to. I have people in my community I can call when I'm mad. Yes. It's funny. I had a conversation with them, and they're on the live tonight with them, and things weren't going so well. And I said, I have my throw the hammer moments too.
Yeah.
I have moments where I'm frustrated. I have moments where it's not working out for me too.
Yep.
And she had said back to me, it gives me great comfort to know that you get those too.
Yeah.
Well, of course I do.
Yeah. If you see him outside building a fence in the rain, you know that he's not happy.
Yeah.
And it's not he's not out there building the fence in the rain. That's not what's making him unhappy. He's unhappy, so he's doing that.
Yeah. That's how I'm venting. That's how I'm getting my unhappy out, is I'm pounding T-posts in the rain because it just happened to be raining. But
Yeah.
So I think there's a whole bunch of stuff we learned tonight. I think that we talked about, they're not coming to help. You have to do it for yourself. If it all went bad tomorrow, what will you wish you would have done? Right.
Yeah.
Which I think are really, really big. Understand that it's hard. Understand that you're not perfect. Understand that you're going to fail. I'm going to fail. But together, I think we can get through a lot of those things really well. And then I think the big things we learned tonight, if you want to take over the world, you got to buy your wife a side-by-side, and don't lock your dogs in the shipping container.
Man.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.